I'm sorry I didn't upload a video yesterday, but yeah, I just have excuses. I'm not gonna again address the excuses because it's just excuses. So yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, are we good? Yeah, fine. Yeah. Today's legs, I feel like whenever it's push or pull and I feel dead, because I've been feeling dead like every day now, so whenever it's push or pull, I'm like, you know what, today it's fine, I can just skip it. But when it's legs, I'm like, what? Skip? No. If I'm about to die, I'm gonna die at the gym doing legs. Anyways. Oh my god, today's Friday. I saw a video on YouTube where there was this girl. It was just a random girl. Like, she just came up on my feed or whatever, and she was talking about that women or girls need to be more hard on the guys. I'm a bit controversial there, I think, or maybe a lot of people think like me, but I didn't really agree with her. Okay, so hear me out. I'm not saying that girls and women should have low standards. Absolutely not. Like, you have to have your standards. You know, you gotta stick to them, because if it's one type of person you want, then of course that's what you gotta find. I mean, stick to your standards. If that's your standard, then that's your standard. I'm not saying anything against that. So I feel like when you're very, very hard on men, and when I say hard, I mean like whenever they do something itty-bitty wrong. Let me just clarify, I am in fact a girl's girl. Like, trust me, I'm not saying that, oh, if he cheats on you, then do that. No. I'm saying like, trust me, I'm a girl's girl. I would never say like, oh, but he did this to you, no, stay with him. No, if he treats you badly, poorly, and this goes both ways, you know, even for the men. If your partner treats you badly, leave. Like, leave. Don't take BS. Okay, don't. I'm just saying. Okay, so now that is out of the way, like, of course, first of all, if you're too hard on someone, I feel like that person will always be like walking on eggshells around you. It won't be as genuine, and I don't think anyone would feel comfortable expressing their feelings or like do anything around you if you're just too hard and too naggy all the time. Don't do this, don't do this. And I'm not saying like these obvious stuff, of course, but what this girl said is that basically she put it like, we need to be more like tougher on the guys, like don't take you know, he needs to treat you like a queen, he needs to whatever. I agree with that, but the thing is, my man's is a nice guy. He's a nice guy, obviously, but why would he? He's an amazing guy, an amazing man. Like, why would you want a bad guy? Anyways, oh damn. I feel like for someone who is maybe shy or maybe, you know, a bit nicer and not as like fuckboy as the others, it's really difficult for them to come up to any girl. Like, if people are too intimidated or intimidating for someone who is genuinely a nice guy, it will be very scary to come up to you. Now, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't have your standards, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the mindset before even like knowing someone or gotten to get to know that person, if your mindset from the start is to be hard on them, I don't know, I just feel like it's not a good, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be interested in a guy if he's like, oh, she has to like do this and do that, like chase me. No, I cannot be that easy. Like, come on, it's not a game. Like, if you have a good connection with someone, if the foundation is the same, like your values and whatever is like the same, then you can just, you know, build together and maybe you're compatible. I think the most important thing is to find someone that your values are alike. The person isn't too like close-minded. So if you have a problem, or if you go to them and tell them like, hey, this and this, when you did this, I didn't appreciate that, and they will like take in that criticism and really do work on that. So, you know, not being close-minded and open, and of course both parts want to grow with each other and for each other. I don't think it's about being hard on them. No, being hard on them and having your standards is different things. You don't have to be hard on someone. I mean, I could just imagine like all the good men and women, they aren't probably at a club somewhere, or I mean, I'm not saying everyone, but I'm just speaking from like for myself. I wouldn't consider myself a bad person, so, you know, I've never been interested in like drinking, partying. People around me are like the same. They're not really party people in that way. So all the good men's are probably the same, you know, they're not out and about. Not all men, but you know what I mean. I just feel like we need to be more kind to our shy kings. Yeah, but I don't even know what I wanted to say with that. You know what? I'm just gonna go do my workout and then I'll come back. So, but let me know what you think, because I don't know. I just saw this YouTube, like I think I watched it like for 2 minutes or something, and I was like, really? Is that what you think? I don't know. I didn't really agree with that you have to be hard on them like from the beginning. Like you have to like, no, chill. Like, chill. If you're like that, then you will have that type of man who will match that energy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. So I'm gonna go do my workout and then I will be right back. But we will see each other in like a second. Okay? Yeah, bye. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so first of all, I don't know if this will be problematic or whatever, discriminating towards people. It might be, I don't know. But I have some difficulties with young people who try to talk like slang. Okay, so where I live, it's a pretty good neighborhood. Like, I'm fortunate to be living in a pretty good neighborhood. I wouldn't say this is the, I don't know, what do you call it? The suburb? The hood? What do you call it? I don't know. But this is a pretty good neighborhood, and it's not that big. So you kind of know who lives here and who doesn't. And there are like, and oh, so there are like some areas in the neighborhood that are like for really rich people, and it's usually Swedish people who live there. And by the way, I'm not saying that because you're Swedish you have to have a Swedish accent. No, there are Swedish people who grow up with people with different ethnicities, with, you know, people around them who are more diverse. So of course I'm not saying that because you're Swedish you have to have a Swedish accent, whatever. No, absolutely not. But I'm saying that some people, you just know that that's not your accent. Oh, I already have my, because I don't know, I'm not like, oh god, I don't know if this is problematic or whatever, but it's not the slang, like the way they talk, that's the problem. Like, you can talk however you want, like, I don't care, like, you know, it's just you're not that type to talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, of course, I'm not like, I don't know the person, so I'm not 100% sure that, oh, you have been like, you're not, you know, you haven't been hanging out with like diverse people. But some people you just know. If you know, you know, okay? And usually these type of people hang out with people who are more diverse. And I think they kind of changed their accent to impress. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know, it bothers me. Again, it's not the accent, it's like, I don't know, I was listening to, or this was like years ago, I was listening to or watching a YouTube video where someone said, here in Sweden, so before, like a couple of years ago, people that lived in more like the suburban area, or I don't know, the hood, or whatever you want to call it, it was usually more like diverse type of people, and they were, this is what they said in the video, they were dressed more like, you know, a certain type of way. They had more like, I don't know, Adidas type of clothes on, whatever. And all the Swedish people thought that that was a problem. Every time they saw someone who were dressed a certain way, they were like, oh, you're like a criminal or whatever. It was even like, I think it was a couple of years ago, but not too long ago, where like the government said that whoever had a Gucci cap on, they were gonna bring that person in and check if they are, you know, doing anything with drugs or whatever it was. So they were basing stuff off what they were wearing. And of course, it was usually more diverse type of people who was wearing these clothes, which is obviously problematic. But anyway, so years went by, and nowadays more people are, expressing through clothes and whatever. So a lot of Swedish people are nowadays having more, I don't know, Adidas dresses and whatever. And now it's not a problem anymore. Before it was a problem, but now that the Swedish people, more Swedish Scandinavian people, have these types of dresses on, it's okay. Okay, go. Suddenly it's okay. It's okay to dress like that. I just have an issue with, you can see on some people that you have it good. You have it good. And they hang out with people that are, not Swedish. I don't know if they, I have no idea who they are, whatever. They might also be having it good, whatever. But they usually have, an accent to them. And these Swedish people usually copy that accent. But you can hear that this is not your accent. Oh. This is not your accent. And I don't know why it bothers me so much. I'm not saying just because you're a people of color, you have to have an accent. No. But it's so hard to explain, because if you know, you know. And again, I'm not saying that you have to have an accent, but some people, you can hear that it is forced. Okay, it is forced, and they do it because they think it's cool. And it's usually pretty young people, so it's not grown-ups. I mean, I don't know, but I've just heard young people do it. And I don't know why it bothers me. I think it's because when people of color or whatever, when we do that, or I'm saying oh, I have an accent. No, I wouldn't say that I have. Wait. I'm saying people people who really live in how do you call it? Cultured communities, diverse communities. When they speak a certain way, or when they have a certain type of clothing on, it's a problem. But when Swedish people do it, it's not a problem anymore. I was listening to a podcast, so I'm following this it's a Swedish influencer, and she's with a black man, and I follow them because I don't know, I just like their relationship, and they have such a cute girl. But I followed her before they got together, but I don't know, I just think their dynamic is so fun to follow. Anyways, so they have started a podcast together, and he had been speaking, I think in one of the episodes, he was speaking about his experience with racism. And he actually brought up this with the clothing thing, because she is obviously Swedish, and I think he's from Colombia. Yeah, he's from Colombia. Yeah. And when she goes to a meeting or whatever, or when she's doing something, she dresses with sweatpants and hoodies and just being comfortable. And he said in that podcast that I could never go out or go to work dressed like that. I could never do that. And that's so, I mean, of course I know that all of these stuff is happening it's just like, can you imagine how, like, just because you have a darker complexion, you cannot be dressed a certain type of way, or even like, this is something even my parents told me when I was young, but he said that also, for instance, in school and whatever, he had to work like the double of how do you say it, in order for you to be considered equal as the Swedish people in your class or whatever. You have to do the most, like you have to work more than all of the other students. You have to be better at everything. You have to have, like, for you to have better grades, you have to do more. And this is something my parents told me, like, just so you know, you have to do double the work to be equal, like the rest of the people, like the rest of the Swedish people. So if they do this much, I have to do this much in order for me to be equal, which is like, it's just like, it's so surrealistic that this is a thing. Just because you have more pigment in your skin, anyways. But for the girls that were talking, I don't know, I was just like, it was just bothering me. I don't know why. Probably because of this, but I don't know. And they were, she was also like talking like about so materialistic things. And I was like, girl, there are people who doesn't have all that. Especially now with the economical crisis things, like, you should be really happy if you have a roof over your head and food on the table, honestly. But I don't know. It was just, I don't know. People of color cannot be a certain way, and when they are that way, people, I don't know, get offended and think that they are doing like weird shit. But then when the other people are like implementing what they're doing, it's okay. I don't know. It was not about to be so like deep. Obviously, I think you all know that. I mean, discrimination and racism is like a fact. It's everywhere. But it's just, I don't know. It's, yeah. I don't even know why I brought this up. I was just a bit like, ugh, with one person at the gym. I'm not saying like, I'm like, why does she talk like that? It was more like, seriously. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope no one took, like, I hope I didn't offend someone, but yeah. Anyways, take care, and I will see you guys on Monday, probably. Yeah. Okay. Bye.